Hey, everybody. I'm so excited to lead you in this topic today. This is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart as a mother of two little ones and the owner of two small businesses. I'll be talking today about how to renegotiate your relationship with time so that you have more time for your self care practice, like your Pilates or yoga practice, or for whatever the heck else you want to do in your life, besides just getting up, going to work, and like making it through the day or the week until you just like crash in your bed on Friday night and just don't get up until Monday morning. So, I want to share with you guys a story. Well, first of all, I want to introduce myself. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Kiki Lovelace, and I am the owner of Interstellar Pilates and Yoga Studio here in Berkeley, California. We specialize in Pilates and yoga for chronic pain and injuries. And I'm also the founder and lead mentor of the Thriving Studio Owner Program, which is a 12-week coaching course for yoga and Pilates studio owners who want to increase their revenues, but without increasing the amount of time they put into building their business. So I am actually an expert on working with time, as anyone who knows me can tell you. And I'm really excited to share with you guys my top 3 ways to renegotiate your relationship with time. So I want to start out when telling you guys a story. I am a Forest Yoga Guardian mentor teacher, which means that I'm one of the 10 or 12 mentor teachers in the world who has been given permission to continue the legacy of Forest Yoga and to teach the Forest Yoga teachings to my people. And so several years ago, about 5 years ago, I was at a Guardian retreat, and my teacher, Anna Forrest, was there. And I had a 3 or 4 month old baby, my firstborn, Adeline, and I was just talking to her after we had all practiced one day. And I was telling her, any of you guys who are parents, you know that when you have a 3 or 4 month old baby, yeah, if you have time to take a shower, that's a miracle. So my whole world was shifting in this moment that I was speaking to her about it. And I just was telling her, I just don't even have time to cut my nails. That's actually literally what we were talking about, because we cut our nails in Forest Yoga so we can do really skillful hands-on assist. And I hadn't trimmed my nails. So I was telling her, I don't even have time to trim my nails. And she just looked at me in the way that she does. She looked up, I remember. And she's like, so stretch it, create more of it. And sometimes she says these things to me. This has happened to me several times in my life as a Forest Yoga teacher, where she'll say these things to me that are super magical and as if I know how to do it already. And the minute she says it to me, I realize, oh, I actually do know how to do that already. So we had this conversation about how you can visualize time as sort of like an ellipses, and you can actually go in and stretch it. So if on a day where you feel really compressed and you have so much to do on your to-do list, really as a business owner and a mom, I really know what this feels like. So when you have so much on your plate, how do you stretch time? How do you make more time to get the important things done? Now I'm talking about as a business owner, sometimes I have really important things that are on a self-imposed deadline, but a deadline nonetheless. But you might want more time for your self-care practice. A lot of us, myself included, if we just wait until the end of the day and we've done all our work and done all the things, done all the things we need to do to take care of our house or our family, we're left with no time for ourselves. And so we don't have time for our self-care practice, like our Pilates or yoga practice, for example. But maybe you want more time to go to the ocean, go surfing, or maybe you want more time just to watch your favorite show. I know for me, I don't have time to watch television anymore. I'm too tired at night, so maybe you want time to, go for hikes, once a week or something like that. But you always feel so compressed with what you have to do or accomplish or who you have to be, for your family or your job. So we all have our different reasons for wanting more time. And usually what is falling out and what we don't have time for is ourselves. We usually put ourselves last. And this makes us feel like we never have any time. So, yes, I am a magic maker with time. I know how to stretch it and change it and shift it. And even on a day where I wake up and I'm like, holy crap, there's so much to do today. How am I going to get it all done? I find these ways to move it and shift it. Things just start to move off my plate. Somebody cancels a meeting. Things always shift for me where there's enough time for me and for myself. And so I want to share with you how I do that. Let me get out my notes. Okay, so number one, in order to renegotiate your relationship with time and really your experience of time, you need to prioritize yourself first. This might bring up it might make the hair on your back stand up on end. I know for me, I still work with healing the part of me that feels like she needs to be of service and that everyone needs her, and really making a priority of my own self-care. So for me, my self-care is different each day. Certainly my Pilates and yoga practice is like a very regular part of my self-care routine. I aim to do my practice every single day. I don't always do it, but that is my intent. And even if that means I can only do 5 poses, on some days, and other days I have an hour, or maybe even an hour and 20 minutes if it's a really amazing day. And there's other things too that I do to prioritize my self-care. I really like to, on my walk over to the Berkeley Bowl, which is across the street from the studio, I like to take a few moments to stand in the sunshine, or even stand in the rain and just let the elements touch my skin. On the weekends, I always like to have tiger time. So tiger time is where you lie down on a rug and lie down like a tiger and just luxuriate for several minutes or an hour or something like that. It's usually not an hour. If it's an hour, my dog and my babies are all crawling around all over me. But to me, having some tiger time where I'm not looking at a device, I'm just literally lying there and being on the rug is actually a really important self-care strategy for me. So yes, prioritizing yourself and not letting anything get in the way of it. So what you'll need to do is actually schedule your self-care time. It has to be a part of your calendar, or else what happens is it will be eradicated by all the things that you have to do. I'm actually looking at the clock thinking right now, I got to finish this video so that I can prioritize my self-care today and get a full hour of practice in. Number 2, you need to put a container around the different parts of your life and the different things in your life that need your attention. So this is the problem that a lot of us have because we have our phones and we have our devices and we can log in and do work. I mean, as a business owner, you can work all day long if you want and all night long. And it's very important, if you were to renegotiate your relationship with time, that you put a container around what you do with your time and when you do it. So when you're with your kids, as much as possible, you're with your kids. And yes, sometimes you need a break and just get on your phone and go on the Facebook and just scroll for a few minutes and just let yourself have that. But, as much as is possible for you to have family time be family time, or to have work time be work time, and contained within the hours of 9 to 5 or whatever it is that your job is, but letting it bleed into the afternoon, evening, after you, after you come home from work, or checking in over the weekend. Yeah, there may be periods of your life where you're doing maybe a big project or a big launch, and that's required. But on a long-term basis, that is not sustainable, and it will eradicate your feeling of having time for yourself or having time for your life, for what you care about. So you must contain it in the hours. And this requires setting boundaries with yourself, and I would say we are the hardest people to set boundaries with. If boundaries are challenging for you, then setting them with yourself is a really good practice for learning how to set them with others in your life as well. And so, yes, there's a containment. When you're doing your self-care practice, you're doing your self-care practice. You're not spacing out and watching television while you're doing it, or scrolling on your phone while you're lying on your foam roller. Are you guilty of this? I'm totally guilty of this. I have had to learn how to do these things. It takes practice. So yes, put a container around it. This is the time for this. This is the time for that. Like another thing as a business owner that is really helpful for me is I contain like checking email to a certain maybe hour of my workday. And then I dedicate other hours, like the bulk of my hours, to doing an actual project that would help build my business. Because if I just was constantly checking email all day and responding and reacting, I would never get anything done. So what I do is I don't finish. I really rarely have an empty inbox. I always have unread emails and I don't care. I will check my email for a certain amount of time, maybe 45 minutes or an hour at the most, and then I'm done because I need to put my attention on the things that are actually more potent and that would actually get me that much closer to my dreams, to my goals, to my visions for growing my businesses and for having more of an impact on my staff and my community. Number 3 is something I learned from a book, and I can't remember the name of the author, but I'll put it down in the comments. It's called The One Thing. And so this is a question that you can ask yourself every day that will help you better manage your time and really have more time for what's important. The question is this: what is the one thing that you can do today such that by doing it makes everything else in your life or your business easier or completely unnecessary? So I'm going to say that again. What is the one thing you can do today such that by doing it makes your life easier or makes everything in your life easier or unnecessary? And so when you start really asking yourself this question, whether you ask this question like at the beginning of your year, sometimes it's like a project, like what's the one thing this year that I can do? But I actually ask myself this question every week and every day. What is the one thing I can do? And so then you just get completely relentless with doing the one thing, and you get really much better at understanding what does that one thing actually require? Because a lot of us have one thing that actually takes 10 steps. So as you keep asking yourself this question, you actually get clearer on the one step that will get you to the one thing, if that's what it takes. But when time is at a premium, you must ask yourself this question, because otherwise you're just going to do a bunch of things. And then at the end of the day, you'll feel like you didn't really do anything. But if you prioritize and you practice prioritizing, what's the most important thing I can do with my life force today, with my energy, with my creativity, with my wisdom, with my skills, then you start to really paint the masterpiece of your life or of your business, if you're a business person. That's what it takes. It requires that kind of focused and inspired action. So that, my friends, is how to renegotiate your relationship with time so that you have more time for your self-care practice and really for your life, like for the things that you're passionate about, the people that you're passionate about. So if you are a person who's interested in Pilates or yoga as a healing tool, I want to invite you to come to my studio here in Berkeley. We're right on Adeline and Stewart, across the street from the Berkeley Bowl and the drugstore across the way. So I'll drop the link in the comments below to our new student special. So if you've never been here, we have a new student special that's your first 30 days for $67, and you get to try out all our different yoga offerings and our Pilates mat offerings and find the right teacher that you feel like really well aligned with. Because if you are going to learn how to be a magic maker like this, prioritizing your self-care is absolutely vital. You must protect your energy in order to live the life that you are here to live, in order to have the impact and be of service in the most spectacular way that is possible for you. So I'm going to put that link in the comments, and we would just love, love, love to have you here. Come try it out, test it out, and we will see you soon on your mat here, because I know you're going to make time for this very important part of your life. Have a great day, everybody.